Keisha Butts with the CTV News Update. The family of a 19-year-old black man who died while in police custody in Greensboro, Maryland, has filed a wrongful death and cover-up in federal court in Baltimore. Anton Black died on September 15, 2018, after 4 white police officers and a civilian chased, tased, and pinned Black to the ground face down. The family, along with a coalition of groups who are joining the suit, say Black, who suffered with mental health issues, died on positional asphyxiation after being pinned to the ground for 6 minutes. The medical examiner ruled Black's death of natural causes. Here is some of what his parents had to say at a virtual news conference today.
This is a good kid. He had big dreams. He didn't do anything wrong. My child didn't have a knife, didn't have a gun, didn't have a stick or a brick. They still ran at him like he was a runaway slave.
Oh, I just don't want anybody else to suffer or to lose their loved ones the way we had. That's all I got to say.
The targets of the lawsuit include Eastern Shore Police Chiefs, 3 jurisdictions, and the state medical examiner. Prince George's County Police are searching for 2 men wanted in connection with an armed robbery. Take a look at this surveillance photograph. One of the suspects is holding what appears to be an assault weapon. The crime happened on this past Monday at 2:30 in the afternoon on the 50th block of Kettering Drive in Kettering. The thieves entered a business and stole cash. Police say there have been 2 other similar incidents in the area and say they may be connected. Investigators are concerned about the weaponry used in Monday's robbery.
This assault-style weapon is alarming to us because it's a high-powered weapon. You've got different calibers of weapons. I won't really get into that, but the fact that they use a rifle, that's alarming to us, and that sort of steps up the urgency of trying to get these guys off the street. If this is what they're carrying, this caliber weapon is what they're carrying, that's extremely dangerous.
No one was injured. Anyone who may have information is asked to contact police. The state's coronavirus numbers continue to surge. The Maryland Health Department reports more than 2,200 new COVID-19 cases today. Also, 49 Marylanders have died from the disease in the last 24 hours. Currently, more than 1,700 Marylanders are hospitalized from the virus. Meantime, in Anne Arundel County, a circuit court judge has extended indoor dining for 12 days. Restaurant owners fought back against new COVID orders. Now restaurants can continue indoor dining at 25% capacity and outdoor dining at 50% until December 28th. How full are hospital intensive care units near you? A new analysis by the New York Times showed just how hard the pandemic is affecting hospitals across the nation. While data shows Maryland follows the national average with 79% of ICU beds full, the D.C. region is at or near capacity. Doctors Hospital in Lanham is 95% full. Prince George's County Hospital Center currently has 85 COVID patients and is at 94% capacity, with only 3 available ICU beds. No intensive care units are available at UMD's Charles Regional Medical Center in La Plata. It's currently at 99% capacity. You want to know the latest about the COVID-19 issues in Prince George's? Tune in tonight at 7 p.m. as County Executive Angela Osserbrooks hosts a town hall meeting. She'll answer questions and talk about vaccine distribution. You can tune in to CTV and hear directly from the County Executive. Again, that's tonight at 7. A record number of Marylanders signed up for health insurance during the open enrollment period. More than 166,000 people enrolled in private health coverage for 2021 through Maryland Health Connection. That's according to Governor Larry Hogan and the state's insurance marketplace. The open enrollment period ended December 15th. Traveling to Virginia from Bowie can be a nightmare, especially if you take the metro. A business group called the Greater Washington Partnership would like to make the commute easier for everyone by creating a single rail system. It's called the Capital Region Rail Vision. Residents would be able to travel from Baltimore to Richmond without transferring lines. You could possibly take the train at New Carrollton and be in Crystal City in 30 minutes. Councilmember Danielle Galeros, who served on the advisory committee, fully supports the plan.
It grows our local economies. It delivers jobs and connects our residents to jobs whether that's in DC, Baltimore, or connects Baltimore and DC to jobs here in Prince George's County. It also delivers good, strong transportation network and one that is accessible for all and affordable for people. And at the end of the day, it is also sustainable.
The Greater Washington Partnership recently developed the rail plan. The group expects it to take more than 20 years to implement. The Board of Public Works unanimously approves a plan to allocate an additional $250 million for the Purple Line. The settlement with Purple Line Transit Partners brings total state funding for the project to $5.8 billion. A $100 million first installment will be paid to the Transit Consortium by the end of the year. The contractor had walked off the job after initially demanding an additional $800 million from the state to cover cost overruns. The Maryland Transit Administration has officially taken over management of the project. Roy McGrath had little to say when questioned by a General Assembly Oversight Committee for 4 hours yesterday. The former top official with the Maryland Environmental Service refused to answer basic questions about a controversial severance payout he received before doing a brief stint as Governor Hogan's chief of staff. McGrath invoked his Fifth Amendment rights against self-incrimination 170 times. The committee amassed a boatload of receipts, expense documents, and communication records that paint an unflattering portrait of Hogan's former top aide. The city of Hyattsville has named a new acting police chief. He is Deputy Police Chief Scott Dunkley, and he steps into his role today. Dunkley grew up in Hyattsville and has 30 years of policing experience under his belt, including time with the Prince George's County Police Department. Dunkley takes over from former Chief Amal Awad, who resigned last month to lead Anne Arundel County Police Department. A nationwide search is underway for the Hyattsville Department's next chief. You're watching CTV News. I'm Keisha Butts, back with more in just a moment.
I moved to Florida with literally pennies in my pocket and a prayer. I needed a new start. Dacian looks like a very typical 3-year-old until you ask him, "What's your name? How old are you?" My son has a lot of behaviors that would show as being autistic. Most kids can tolerate a variety of foods, but unfortunately for Dacian, everything has to be organic and raw. I wasn't ashamed to go to the food pantries. It's expensive to eat healthy, and nutrition is very important to Dacian's health. The healthy, organic food that we receive dramatically helped his social skills. Most people would say, she really doesn't have much of a life. But to me, I have everything right there next to me and my son.
There was a time in my life where I was extremely homesick. I decided that I needed a pet. When I first saw a turtle, my heart was full. He jumped up and kissed me and jumped right into my arms. I immediately went up to the volunteers at the shelter and said, I want him. He's got to come home with me. Not anything but lonely. Every day with Turtle is a perfect day and keeps me company when I'm doing schoolwork. I like it when he jumps up on the table too. He is a veggie thief. He's an incredible companion and my best friend. Can't say that I've met anybody that doesn't love him too. When I adopted Turtle, I discovered all the things that make him unique. He's a little bit of a lot of things, but mostly he's all pure love.
Long overdue. That's what many are saying about Major League Baseball's decision to count statistics from the Negro Leagues in official MLB records. The stats will include 3,400 players from 7 leagues that existed from 1920 to 1948. The leagues were developed because black players were barred from playing in the MLB until Jackie Robinson broke the race barrier in 1947. Dwayne Sims founded the Negro League Legends Hall of Fame in 2003. He's elated about the recent development, but says more still needs to be done.
By doing this, now we can talk about the Baltimore Elite Giants, which was a major Negro League team, and also the Baltimore Black Sox, which is in the state of Maryland. Also with these stats, I guess we need to find out more because they're talking about from 1920 to 1948. And we do know that the Negro League went up to 1952 and 1950. So I guess that's just a broad view of it. And then my other thought is that that's the second era of Negro League, and actually baseball existed in the Colored Professional League, which was the first era back in 1903. So now we're getting information, and at least they're validating and recognizing that there is some history toward the history of American baseball through the Negro League. So that's what I'm happy about for the first step. The other piece I would like to add that hopefully now they will recognize the founding father of Black baseball itself. But to me, it's very important that Andrew Rube Foster be recognized in his part of history. He was an entrepreneur, he was a player, he was a manager, and he also wrote in the first book from Soul White, how to play the game of baseball.
The Negro Leagues produced some of the greatest players in baseball history, including 32 Hall of Famers such as Jackie Robinson, Willie Mays, and Satchel Paige. Thousands of deserving children across the Washington metro region will have a holly jolly Christmas this year. That's thanks in part to the Salvation Army, its annual Angel Tree program, and its generous givers. Donors use the Angel Tree program to buy gifts for needy children up to 12 years of age. Today, parents picked up the gifts from the Salvation Army's distribution center in Hyattsville.
Ultimately, we will help a little over 13,000 in the Washington area. About 2,500 to 3,000 will come from Prince George's County. And we always get more requests than we can fill. Again, once we commit, we commit. And we don't say to the parent when distribution comes, I'm sorry, your child was not adopted. We make sure that their child receives something.
Woodcock says this year the organization had more requests than usual. Do you want to support a local mom and pop shop this holiday season? If you're still looking for that perfect Christmas present and you want to shop locally, Google says it has a tool that can help you. All you have to do is go to the tech company's map section.
For example, I love to shop at local bookstores that are independent. So if I type in something like bookstores near me, you're going to see a bunch of different options and their business information. And that includes everything from their hours and whether they might have shifted from what you're used to. But it's also going to be great for showing you whether they're offering in-store shopping or whether they're doing curbside pickup or whether they have plexiglass at checkout or any number of protocols that they could be taking.
CTV will have more Christmas tips next week. The need for food is felt all across the county, especially right here during the holiday season. Decked in Santa Claus hats, volunteers helped load boxes of food into cars at Laurel Elementary School this morning. This is all a part of the school's partnership with USDA, where they give out food to Laurel residents in need of assistance. Organizers say they passed out close to 590 boxes of food today.
In the boxes, it's 30 pounds of food. We have fruits and vegetables, we have hot dogs and taco meat. We have been doing this for 4 weeks, and unfortunately, this is the last week that we will be able to receive the food from USDA. And hopefully we will hear, maybe in February, we might get additional boxes.
The county will also pass out food to needy families tomorrow at 2 locations beginning at 12:30 p.m. at the Beltsville Seventh-day Adventist Church and Faith Temple Free Will Baptist Church. Well, let's get a quick check on our 3-day weather forecast. Tonight, mostly cloudy with a low around 27 degrees. Friday and Saturday, partly sunny with a high near 39 and an evening low around 30. Sunday, partly sunny with a high near 47 and a low around 33. And now for the community calendar. Sean Malden is giving back to the community for his birthday. The Maldon Foundation is hosting a gas giveaway for community members. Residents can sit in their car while staffers fill up your tank. The free event is this Sunday, December 20th from 2 to 5 p.m. Registration must be complete prior to arrival. To sign up, visit Eventbrite and search for gas giveaway. And that wraps up our newscast for this evening. Join us again tomorrow. Same time, same place. Have a good night and stay safe.